So as everybody knows by now, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, or as I like to say, he was silenced, to be honest about it, because the left they simply can't have somebody speaking out against their insane ideology and what they believe. And let's be honest again, the colleges are literally liberal indoctrination camps, and they do not want anybody going to those colleges and disrupting their message of, their, so much for the, what do they call it? Acceptance and inclusion. The Democrat Party, are you serious? Yeah, acceptance and inclusion if you're just like them. But God forbid you speak out and you say something different than they do, or you have a different idea, a different opinion, because it's been proven. It was just proven, because if you do, you will be silenced by the left. And this is the thing that just gets me the most, is these liberals, they have this insane ideology, and they will not vary from it one iota. It's either you believe what we believe, or you've got to go away. And that's literally how they look at everything. There's no room for open conversation with liberals, and that's what Charlie Kirk was doing. He was going to college campuses, and he said, let's talk. Prove me wrong if you can. And this whole thing about him being racist and spewing hatred, I've seen literally almost every one of his events that he did at the colleges. I never saw any racism or any hatred whatsoever from any of it. Now, when I did see the hatred, it was coming from the left. But when he was sitting, when he had the mic, he never belittled anybody, and he always thanked everybody, regardless of their opinion or what their belief is. He always thanked him. Thank you for your question. And then he would say, this is what this is about, is open debate. Let's talk these things through. We don't have to start slinging bullets and rocks and bottles at each other, which apparently the left believes that's how you handle all problems. We have to talk it out. And the left doesn't know how to talk it out. And if you don't believe me, I'm getting ready to prove my point right here, that the left, they know nothing but violence. And all they do is resort to violence. And this guy, Cenk, from the Young Turks, this guy's the worst of the worst. I cannot stand this guy. He is nothing but full of lies, full of hatred, and he spews his filthy vitriol all over the airwaves. And it just amazes me that anybody even watches and believes anything this guy says. And this is proof in the pudding right here. Dave Rubins calls him out on what he's been saying about Charlie Kirk. Because all of a sudden somebody like Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, and everybody from the left, oh my God, we're in shock. We're in shock. We can't believe it happened. Well, you're the reason. You're literally the reason it happened, because of all the bad things that you say, because you don't know how to come to a table and talk, discuss. If my opinion is not like yours, then in your eyes, I'm automatically the enemy and I must be eliminated. Watch this. And I'm going to give you a Charlie Kirk. Prove me wrong right here.
We'll find out where he got radicalized. But please, please, let's not pretend we don't know where this stuff is coming from. And please, let's not pretend that this thing is going both ways, because it is absolutely not. I also have well, you know what, Cenk, I'll ask you a question directly, actually. Do you think Charlie wanted to be martyred? Do you think Charlie wanted to be martyred? Do you think Charlie wanted to be killed? Yes or no?
Of course not. What kind of asinine question is that?
You don't? Because that's pretty interesting. Because here's a video of you, Cenk, talking when Charlie was at a breakfast.
It allows for easy martyrdom for these guys, and they don't deserve it. But I do also want to point out, as they're in the middle of crying now, although Charlie was smiling ear to ear throughout the entire video, thinking, yes, I'm now the victim, and I'll get to claim that my rights have been infringed.
Did you catch the beginning of that, Cenk? Listen, we'll do it again.
No, I didn't, and that's totally.
Now look at his face while he's playing. He's playing this audio clip. He is stunned because he knows what Rubins is getting ready to play, and he's like, "Oh shit!" He's actually going to play this clip, and it gets worse as you go on, because now he's been caught. He's been caught because it's, he likes to scream, oh no, I get to play the victim, and then something actually happens. Then all of a sudden he's aghast that something happened. Well, you know what? If you would shut your mouth and quit spreading so much hatred out there, maybe some of these things wouldn't happen. But like I said, he's one of the worst when it comes to this. And watch as this goes on. He absolutely loses his mind. And what does he do? He does what liberals do, and they instantly revert to violence. Watch.
No, we're not going to do it again.
And
Totally out of context. I don't even know what the hell you're talking
No,
about.
no. Listen, brother.
Are you trying to
listen
get harm
for
on
1
me?
second.
Is that what you're trying to do,
clown.
you loser?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Okay, and I'm sorry that I'm going to interrupt this a lot of times, but you see what he's doing? Dave Rubins is just saying, hey, I'm going to play you this clip again. These are your words. And he's like, are you trying to get hate on me, you loser? That's exactly what I'm talking about. They don't know how to have a civilized conversation. And I've run into this problem with liberals time and time again when I've tried to debate liberals. They always go straight to the name calling, straight to getting in your face, straight to yelling. And this is exactly what Cenk does. And like I said, this guy is the worst of the absolute worst when it comes to liberals.
No. I'm
I
trying
was
to
going to do
expose
conciliation,
exactly
except
what
this
people
guy,
like you
look at the
have
last
done.
two things that your last two guests said.
Piers.
Jesus,
no,
man.
what they
You
said
guys are
was, yes,
unbearable.
we should have reconciliation, but it is not without any contrition, right? It's not without a mea culpa. Charlie was accosted by Antifa at a breakfast in Philadelphia, and the video that I just played is you with a cartoon of him as Charlie Brown saying that he would love to be martyred so he could be the victim. Well, I guarantee you, his wife, who now doesn't have a husband, and his kids who don't have fathers, did not want him to be martyred.
What you just played isn't what
It's exactly what you said, brother.
It's
exactly
what you just said
what
it was.
Let's do it again.
No,
It's exactly what he just said, verbatim. He's going to lie and try to talk his way out of this. And then when Rubin says, hey, let's play it again, he's like, oh, no, we don't need to play it again, because he does not want you to hear it again, to hear his hypocrisy, his hatred of everything on the right. With people like him, there's no middle ground. There is no middle ground. And I don't care who you are or what you say. Us Republicans, have tried 1,000,000 times to find middle ground with the left, and we cannot. They absolutely will not take one step to the center to meet us in the middle. And now it's gotten to the point where, guess what? We don't want to meet you there anymore. We're done. We're 100% done. And just keep watching this, because it gets so much worse.
Let's
we
do
just
it again.
heard it. We just heard it.
It's not?
All right, so
It's not?
no,
Let's do it again.
Cut this crap out.
Come on,
no,
we'll do it again.
Piers, can we
can do
talk
it
about
again.
reality? This is something he's going back to like 10 years.
Well, I think Cenk should be allowed to respond.
Perverting what I said there.
And they don't deserve it.
It allows for easy martyrdom for these guys, and they don't deserve it. That was when Antifa was going after him at a breakfast in
Okay, so
Philadelphia.
let's let Cenk respond to that.
No, that was about words, you moron. Okay, Jesus Christ, man. All right.
See? That was about words, you moron. Really? Really? And not one time does Dave Rubin raise his voice at him, yell at him. Not one time. He never calls him a name. Never calls him an idiot, an asshole, a moron, which he's all of the above. But he never does. Because there's a stark difference about how the right treats the left as opposed to how the left treats the right. It is shocking, the difference between the two. And like I said, with those of us on the right, we finally had enough. We've had enough. So when you come at us with your vitriol and your hate, you can pretty much bank that you're going to get returned back with vitriol and hate, because you all have pushed us to that brink to where we no longer want to negotiate. We tried and tried and tried, and you all cut us at every turn that we tried. So now we're done. And I'm going to tell you right now, had Cenk been in the same room with Dave Rubins, he would have attacked him, because it is getting ready to hit epic explosion right now.
It seems to me that everyone agrees that Donald Trump is not Hitler and his supporters are not Nazis. So with that in mind, I'd like to read some other headlines. These are video titles from Cenk's channel. And if in the spirit of reconciliation, maybe he wants to delete these things. Trump cuts anti-Nazi program. Trump spreading Nazi propaganda. Nazis encouraged by Trump's Charlottesville response. Trump defends Nazis, very fine people. That is the biggest political hoax ever. Trump retweets a neo-Nazi again. Trump disappoints neo-Nazi supporters. So these things don't come out of nowhere.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The left keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And at what point did they think we were going to say, you know what? Enough's enough. You guys want to fight? Let's fight. Because we are so tired of the rhetoric from the left. And I got a video coming up that's going to prove my point even further. A brilliant video that, I'll give you all the information at the video that somebody did. And it was, the guy he just put it straight. He absolutely hit the nail on the head. And I thought, oh my God, he's 100% correct. He's 100% correct. Why the right and the left, why we will never come together at this point in America. It's just, I just don't see it happening. And like I said, we've tried 1,000 times, and every time we try, we just get cut. We get shot. We get things thrown at us. We get spit on. We get bottles of water thrown at us. I mean, it's just on and on. It's the name calling. It's everything else. And like he said, let's not pretend that it's both sides doing this. It is not both sides doing this. You know, Charlie Kirk got shot. How many riots were there? 0. How many cities did we burn down? 0. How many stores did we loot? 0. How many cop cars did we burn? 0. But now, had it been somebody on the left that got shot, everything I just mentioned, you bet your life every one of them would have happened. Now tell me there's no difference and it's coming from both sides.
Only blame one person at the end of the day for these murders, which is the crazy person who does the murders. But pretending that what is wildly asymmetrical, I think I have laid that out with evidence here, pretending that it's symmetrical is deeply, deeply dangerous. Piers, you know this because we've discussed it on my show. Even on your show, you have found it way more difficult to find rational, decent people on the left who will explain themselves thoughtfully and calmly and everything else, while the panoply of people you get on the right who shouldn't even be on the right, I would say certainly someone like me, I don't know exactly where Batya considers herself, but people with a variance of political opinions that now broadly are part of the MAGA thing, is because of what I just read you, the endless hysteria of the left that has ginned up people to do crazy things.
All right, now before we get into this, where Cenk absolutely loses his mind, I do want to make one comment on this, because what Dave Rubins says, absolutely brilliant. Over on the MAGA side, on the Republican side, there's such a difference of opinions and ideas on how to get things done. You know, I'm a Republican. I'm more conservative than Republican. There is a difference. If you don't know the difference, shame on you. And I voted for Donald Trump. Do I agree with everything Donald Trump's doing? No, I do not. Most people I know do not agree with everything Donald Trump's doing. But we have multiple ideas, even though our ideologies are very similar, they do separate us, as opposed to the left that share one ideology. They share one brain. They share one thought process. They're all the same. There's no difference. If I talk to one liberal or 50 liberals, it's exactly like I'm talking to the same person all the way down the line. They don't vary in any of their ideas. They don't vary, and there's no originality there. They cannot have a thought of their own. Everything comes from the collective, the DNC, or wherever they get their insane, unhinged, mentally deranged ideas from. But it's like you're talking to the same person no matter how many liberals you talk to. When you talk to Republicans, you're going to talk to a variety of different people with a variety of different ideas and different outlooks. It's not like that on the left.
Not to say you can't say the worst things. You want to say the worst things? Donald Trump's a Nazi. It's so tough to say. You want to say that? Go ahead and say it. It falls on the person who pulls the trigger. But if we're all sitting here saying, yeah, it's not true that Donald Trump's a Nazi and it's not true that his supporters are Nazis and he's not Hitler and all of those things, well, then before you get to reconciliation, a little bit of a mea culpa by some of us might be valuable.
Cenk?
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is disgusting. So this guy pretending to do conciliation, and I was going to be conciliatory towards Dave if I spoke first. But
I was going to be conciliatory towards Dave if I spoke first, because that way I could get my opinion across first, and then I would have something to shut you down with, because my opinion is the only opinion that matters. But when you speak first and I have to hear your opinion, then all of a sudden we got a problem. Typical left behavior.
apparently that's not what he's doing at all. So what he's trying to do is get people angry in a misleading way against me. Are you trying to get
those
people
your
to be
titles?
violent?
Are those the titles of your videos?
This is disgusting.
No.
So no. Let me explain.
No.
Let me explain.
Those are your titles.
No,
buddy.
let me explain. You're asking me a goddamn question, so let me explain while.
Typical liberal response right there. Dave said, hey, this is on your website. This is on your channel. These are your titles. And now you're going to try to explain it away that Charlie Kirk's been dead, and all of a sudden you're aghast. And watch him. It gets worse.
Trying to get people to do violence against me. You're disgusting. So those are 80% of those titles. I've never called Trump a Nazi, and those titles were about neo-Nazi reactions. So what do you want us to do? Not tell you what's actually happening? And so look.
Did Donald Trump side with neo-Nazis?
Yes, he did say that.
No, he did not.
Charlottesville?
So as
he did it. Piers, how about you handle this one instead of giving it to me? Piers,
can I just talk? So this monster is trying to egg on violence.
What did Donald Trump say after very
and he won't
people?
even let
I'm
me
not
talk.
talking about the neo-Nazis or the white supremacists who should be condemned completely. It's the biggest debunked conspiracy theory of all time. You're still pushing that now? You're still pushing the very fine people hoax now? I'm shocked even for you.
Dave, no. Dave, shut up and let me answer your stupid question. So on that day, which now we're going back to that for no goddamn reason other than you're trying to get people angry at me for misleading things.
I'm reading your titles. You should be angry at your titler.
He did. Shut up and let me answer. So did he say there are very fine people on both sides? He did. So that's a fact. Now, who was he referring to? As we've explained on the Young Turks.
Who was he referring to? We're not sure, so we're just going to assume and let everybody, let everybody make up their own mind, even though we're going to give them a direction to go.
Any better? Those people were in favor of slavery. Those people lynched black people. So I'm not going to ever cheerlead for them, and I'm not ever going to shut
Jake,
up
in the very next sentence, did he say, I'm not talking about the white supremacists
so
or
you're
the
not going to get
neo-Nazis
me to
who should be
shut up,
condemned totally.
and you are against speech, and you're the one trying to smear people.
And that is a liberal for you. That is a liberal. He doesn't know how to have a conversation. And like I said, this guy, Cenk, he's the worst of the worst, all right? This guy is a clown. He's an absolute clown, okay? I've watched some of their podcasts over there, and all I can sit there is shake my head and say, I can't believe anybody listens to the filth and the lies that comes out of his mouth. Because what he's doing is he is a slave to the DNC, and he's pushing the message of the DNC. The message, Donald Trump's a Nazi, Donald Trump's killing democracy. We all know that's not true, but that's what they push. And unfortunately, and don't get me wrong, it's not just this idiot, it's all of them pushing it. Flip on any channel, go to any liberal anything, and that's what they're saying. And then they wonder why when one of their unhinged liberal followers, whatever you want to call them, when they do something and they act on it, then all of a sudden they're shocked. Oh my God, I can't believe it happened. How can you not believe it? Because it's literally your fault. It's literally 100% your fault. And we've gotten to a place right now, and I'm going to say this, we've gotten to a place right now to where if you are a Republican, you had better work on your situational awareness, because the liberals have completely lost their minds. And if I was a Republican speaker that spoke in public, Dave Rubins, for instance, buddy, you better double your guards up. You better start whatever security you have, you need to double it now if you're a Republican. Meanwhile, the liberals get to go about their happy way, running around doing whatever they want to do, because guess what? We're not going to shoot them. We're not going to come after you because of what you say. We're not going to do that. Now, before I go any further on this, have there been people that, yes, there are right-wing nut jobs out there. There are. Not going to kid anybody about that. And have they done stupid things? Yes, because there's stupid people everywhere. But in the world right now, with the things that are going on, 90% of the hatred, of the vitriol is coming from the left. You can, like I said, you can go to any channel, you can watch anything, any liberal thing that I pick up. That's all I hear. Howard Stern, he's over there bashing people on the right. Bruce Springsteen, bashing people on the right. Joy Reid, that's why she got canned, because all she did was bash Trump and people on the right. The View, bashing people on the right. What's the idiot that just got canned? Colbert. Stephen Colbert, bashing people on the right. Seth Meyers, bashing people on the right. Jimmy Kimmel, bashing people on the right. It doesn't matter where you go, that's all there is. And here's the amazing thing. In the sphere of talk radio and YouTube, there are so many more Republicans that have successful channels that are bigger names than there are liberals. And you know what? All the years I listened to Rush Limbaugh, I never once heard Rush Limbaugh say, you know what? You got to grab a liberal and take him outside and beat the shit out of him. Never heard him say that once. Never heard Dan Bongino say that one time. Never heard Sean Hannity say that one time. Never heard any of them say that. But I can't tell you how many times I've heard it from the liberal side. I can't tell you. Do I need to start talking about Maxine Waters? How about Jasmine Crockett? How about Joe Biden? Everybody on the right is trash. MAGA is trash. They're garbage. Put crosshairs on Donald Trump, then Donald Trump gets shot. And then you wonder why the two sides are so divided. Well, I'm going to tell you now, there's no coming back to the middle. We tried. and tried. Charlie Kirk was one of the people trying to get everybody to the middle, and he was the biggest voice we had for that age group that was trying to say, hey, you know what? Here's the other side of the story, because you're in your liberal indoctrination camp known as college. You get all your information off of TikTok, so either you have half the story or none of the truth. So now I'm going to give it to you. He was our biggest advocate for doing that, for trying to bring it together. And what happened? You killed him. You silenced him. And now all of a sudden you're calling to bring the temperature down because we can't have political violence. You know what? Then maybe the first step to stopping political violence is all the liberals, all the people on your side, maybe they need to shut up and really think about what they're going to say before they actually say it.